Town crews are getting ready for what is shaping up to be the first blizzard of the season. We have details, and in anticipation of the storm, there are already some cancellations, including tonight's town council meeting. Plus, new regulations are in effect for car dealers. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Thursday, January 2nd, 2014. I'm Sarah Mantle. A blizzard warning is in effect for Barnstable County. That warning will remain in effect until 11 a.m. Friday. The National Weather Service says residents can expect heavy snow and strong winds. We could see 8 to 14 inches of snow accumulating tonight and tomorrow. There's also a coastal flood warning in effect until tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Experts say we could see minor pockets of flooding during high tide tonight and tomorrow. There are already some cancellations due to the storm. Town Council President Jessica Rapp-Grissetti canceled tonight's Town Council meeting. Grissetti says the meeting is not being postponed, so that means the next Town Council meeting will be held January 17th. There are no activities at the Senior Center tonight, no word on tomorrow yet, but when Barnstable Public Schools are canceled, the Senior Center follows and cancels all activities, including Adult Supportive Day and transportation services. Activities at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center are also canceled for this evening and will be canceled tomorrow if school is closed. Town crews started storm preparations early this morning. They were out in force starting at 3 a.m. Joining me now over the phone is DPW Director Dan Santos. Dan, what can you tell me about the preparation efforts for today's storm?
Well, as you just mentioned, we've been out salting and sanding the roads since very early this morning. And one of the things we do is we pre-treat. We have a liquid ice band product that we'll put down before things get really cold. And what that does is it stays on the road surface and it doesn't allow the snow to stick and the ice to form as much. So it's a great thing that we've been doing the past few years to pre-treat. So we've been making the rounds since then on the roads, make sure that they're not slick. If they are, we'll send crews out to take those spot areas. But I've been out myself. I think the major roads, they look pretty good. They're really just wet. And the other thing that we'll be doing probably around 3 o'clock is we stage plow crews, given the forecast, around the town, different commercial areas and parking lots where they can stay and just wait for the call to do the plowing. So we're not having to call people in and then have them get here and then move on. So it allows us to get ahead of the snow accumulation for our plowing effort. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. We have inspectors that travel all around the town all throughout the storm. We have a number of crews that we can rotate in. We've staged some, food and coffee here as folks need rest, and we send other crews out. So we're ready for the storm and hope to keep ahead of it and have our roads at least passable for fire and police safety personnel and ambulances and the folks that need to be out in the storm.
Now, Dan, I know the forecasters are calling for much of the snow overnight tonight. Are you going to have crews out all night tonight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, how many extra crews will you have to call in to handle that extra demand?
Well, all of our personnel are available, and we rotate teams. And as they plow and, they get into 12 hours or so, of work, we want to rest them and get another crew taking their place. We encourage the private contractors to do the same. We don't want people out there for endless hours without any rest or food, because that's just going to create an unsafe situation. So we really work with them to avoid that.
Very important there. And I also saw that you were going to be giving residents some updates on the town website. You have a first update already on there. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, this was a thought we had, people using social media or the computer. Most people have a smartphone now, and the computer was a convenient way for them to just go right to the town's website and right there in bold. They don't have to search or click any more than just getting to the home page and get the latest on what we consider the conditions of the roads and what we're up to as far as addressing the storm. So that's what we're trying to do there, and I think it'll probably be well received given the amount of people that use that now.
And of course, before we wrap up, wanted to ask you really quickly, any advice you have for residents? I mean, should we be staying off the roads if at all possible? What kind of advice do you have for residents?
Yeah, my advice in these situations is if there isn't a real solid reason to be out, then you really need to be home and off the roads. Allow the crews to do the work to get the roads as clean as they can be, passable for emergency vehicles. If you do need to be on the roads, people should really slow down because the driving is not the same as when it's dry condition, and it's really just using common sense. But if you can wait a couple of days to do what you needed to do, that's really best for your own personal safety and to allow the public works folks to do the job they need to do to clean this up and get us back to normal as quick as possible.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. I know you are a really busy man today. I really appreciate the update from you and also the updates on the website.
You're welcome.
And have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
My guest this evening was DPW Director Dan Santos, and of course he will give another update on the storm and conditions on the roadways tomorrow on Barnstable This Morning. Car dealers in town have a few new regulations to comply with. The licensing authority voted to support the new regulations Monday. The regulations will require dealers to clearly mark parking spaces on car lots, have clearly posted signs with hours listed, and provide the town with a list of repair facilities that they use. Barnstable Police Officer Stephen Marr says the purpose of amending the regulations is to improve public safety and protect consumers.
Along with that parking plan, one, gives avenues of approach for the fire department, for the police department. It allows them to go in if there's a problem to get close to the building to fight a fire or to promote egress if there's someone hurt inside the building, etc. In going out and doing inspections, sometimes vehicles are parked other than where they should be according to the plan. Some of the vehicles are parked up close to the building, some of the vehicles are parked 2, 3, or 4 deep in such a way that you can't get into the interior part of those groups of vehicles. Along with that, more so in Class 1 than Class 2, as a crime deterrent, it's difficult for us to go through and drive through a particular property if the vehicles are parked 3 or 4 deep. One of the things that's happened in the past is that as the price of metals increased, there was some thefts involved involving catalytic converters and the like, and rims and things like that. And to drive through at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and not be able to see those vehicles that are inside that pack of cars, it makes it difficult to see if anything's even happened. Where these Class 1 and Class 2 dealers are coming before you and promoting a plan that was approved by the fire department and the building department, all we're asking is that we hold them accountable to that plan that they submitted.
Barnstable Police Lieutenant John Murphy says the new regulations are not meant to harm dealership owners, and they will be reviewed in the future.
These regulations are not going to be etched in stone and printed on tablets. Are going to be planted on the wall forever to be memorialized. Right. If, like anything we do, if it becomes too onerous or it doesn't work and there is an outcry that it needs to be changed, then certainly the police department would, and the board would entertain a motion to change things. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. This is just a good faith effort to try to establish some type of regulation to a problem that we all recognize exists in the town. And is it perfect? I don't know yet. We'll know in the future. And if it's not, and there's a problem, then we'll correct it.
Those regulations went into effect immediately following Monday's vote. Well, that's it for this evening. If you have to be out on the road tonight, allow yourself some extra time and drive safe. You can get the latest storm updates on the town's Facebook page and website. That web address is town.barnstable.ma.us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning to watch Barnstable This Morning for the latest updates. That show airs at 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.